We never see them talking about the mental battles. We never see them talking about the imposter syndrome. We never see them talking about the breakdowns, the struggle of time management, and the delegation of time between content, the streams, and real life. Their 9 to 5, their families, their relationships, so on and so forth. It is hard. It is hard. Nobody ever talks about it. Why? Why is content so wrapped around the happy and the upbeat? Yes, people enjoy seeing it. Yes, like seeing it. People think it's entertaining. That's what people want to see. But sometimes people need the real and the raw. Sometimes people need to know what's actually going on and what they're getting into. I know for myself, some days are really fantastic. Some days I wake up and I am so inspired to make content, and I am angry that I have to go to my 9 to 5 because I want to spend the entire day working on this fantastic idea that I thought of. But I can't because I have to be an adult in the real world and I have to go to my 9 to 5. And by the time I get home, I'm so pressed for time that it's going to just end up going down in my notebook and it's never going to actually become a thing. But you know what? Now is the time. This has been sitting in my ideas for way too long, and we're doing it. We're doing it. We're going to be discussing all of the mental battles that creators have and nobody talks about. In this episode, we're going over my personal favorite and my biggest demon in the content creation world, I believe, and that is imposter syndrome. And if you don't know, imposter syndrome is an internal experience where you believe that you are not as competent or deserving as others perceive you to be. You think that you have all these followers, that you have this viewer average, that you got this hype train, that you got a viral like TikTok video, and you believe that you don't deserve it. And sometimes it just happens. I know what you're thinking though. You're sitting in there and you're just like, how in the world as a content creator could you get that success on on a project and then think that you don't deserve it? That doesn't sound real at all. And I'll tell you that imposter syndrome is 110% real. 110% real. Like I said, I'll have days where I'm just like, I have the most bomb ideas and this is going great. And I am so confident. And then I go to start editing this video and I'm like, this is garbage. This is garbage. This is garbage. Nobody's going to watch this anyways. And you know what? Who cares if they don't or not? Put it out there. Express yourself. Show your work. And I feel like the people will come. If you're real and you're raw and you're you, the right people will come.
For me, at least, imposter syndrome is that little voice in the back of your head that for some reason you can't shake. It's the constant feeling that you're just not good enough. Um, Imposter syndrome to me is having the option to quit my 9 to 5 and go full time with what I love and still feeling like at the end of the day, I'm not good enough for it, that I'm not meant to do it. Imposter syndrome is having all of your supporters and your friends and everybody that's in your corner tell you all these amazing things about you and your stream. And at the end of the day, you just still feel like it's not enough. It's something that holds me back. I know for a fact it holds me back. I can't really speak for other people, but I feel like it's like a form of anxiety that just comes with being a streamer.
One of the hardest things that I have to deal with in content creation is the feeling of never being good enough, and that nothing I do is legitimate, if that makes sense. And there's always a feeling of I'm just not good enough, or I'm not actually worthy of the kind things that people say about me. No matter what I accomplish, I'm always amazed when anybody wants to come on the show, and they're always like, "Oh, great, thank you, I appreciate it so much." And I'm like, "No, thank you," because I don't feel worthy most of the time of people's praise or adoration at all, at all, and it's amazing to me that sometimes that people listen to me and that they appreciate me, because I don't always feel that I'm worth it.
Imposter syndrome. It's when you know you're doing something, but it doesn't feel like it's you doing it. And that's been my whole life. I am bipolar with PTSD. My entire life, I've dissociated, and reality's not really been a thing that I've grasped my entire life. So sometimes my way of thinking is really distorted, and sometimes I have a hard time even grasping reality just in general. My whole life I've never felt like I fit in. I never felt like I belonged. I never felt like I had a home. And honestly, once I started doing Twitch is when I found my home.
It's gonna sound weird, but I get very uncomfortable when I go into other streamers' streams and like, oh my god, it's more for something else. Nice to me, because it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. I know people are trying to be nice, but it just makes me so freaking uncomfortable, because I feel like a fraud. I feel like, why are you saying nice things about me? I say a few things on the internet. I'm still learning shit, so it's just bizarre. I smile, whatever, say thank you, but it's very uncomfortable.
I 100% have days where it's what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Who's gonna watch this? This is awful. Absolutely awful. Why am I even wasting any of my time doing this? I am literally putting all of my mental energy, all of my time into doing this, and it's going nowhere. I'm wasting my life. When I could go touch grass, when I could read a book, when I could watch the TV series that I wanted to, I could spend time with my fiance and my pets. I could go see my family. I could go to the lake. I could literally just go back to school. I could be spending all of my free time, beat these games that have been sitting in my backlog for an eternity. I could spend all of my free time doing this, but instead I'm funneling all of my mental energy into this, and for what? And on that same token, literally hours later, or even the next day, there is nothing else that I'd rather be putting my energy, my time, and my efforts into.
I know that people see a more or less polished image on Twitch, on TikTok, other places, YouTube, all that stuff. And that's what they see, that's what they believe, so they think it's always like that. But it is not always like that. Quite often, there's just a mad scramble to get everything done. My Twitch shows, often they're kind of chaotic until the moment I go live and say, "Hey, everybody, welcome to the stream." And I feel like it's fake in a way, because people just see this kind of relatively smooth product when it's filling out my monthly schedule with guests, putting together the graphics packages, everything technologically is a struggle sometimes to get completed. So it does feel a bit, I do feel like it's just not real sometimes. Like, it's kind of like smoke and mirrors. And even I get amazed when everything works out well. And I'm amazed that it actually happens, that things actually happen the way they're supposed to.
It's the demon of streaming that stops so many people from just saying fuck it and achieving their dreams. Because there's so many people in my life. There's so many people in my life and on Twitch that I watch regularly that I know that if they had enough time to work on their content, they would be amazing. They would they would be achieving their dreams that they've been chasing from day one. Imposter syndrome is not the truth.
That when I am online, I look like a different person. My makeup's all done, I have a wig on. Sometimes I have colored contacts in. I have fake eyelashes on. Like, I don't look like myself when I am online. I look like the way I want to look. I look like the way that I think is pretty. That's confusing for my brain. Because Tika with makeup on looks a whole lot different than Tika without makeup. It's just what it is. So, imposter syndrome. It feels like you're living a lie. You feel like a fraud, right? I felt like that my entire life. It's a weird feeling. It's weird. Like, you're being told all these things like, we love you, you belong here, blah, 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 but you don't feel it. It's when you feel like you're a fraud when you're not. Like, I'm busting my ass. I work every single day online, working on content here at home. I'm constantly working, networking, thinking of more ideas for my stream, working on stuff for my stream, working on my merch store. Like, I'm doing it all by myself. I don't have a team, okay? So I'm the one making all my posts on all my social medias. I'm the one doing my makeup. I'm the one making all my overlays. Everything you see here, I made. I made everything. This is my baby. The content creation is my baby. It is something I have worked on so hard, and I'm proud of it. But it doesn't feel like me. Like, when I go back and watch the VODs, I'm like, who is that person? Because I don't know who she is. Obviously, it's me. Obviously. But that's imposter syndrome.
There's just a multitude of things that can feed into imposter syndrome, and it's just really hard to overcome sometimes. It's the content creator's depression, I feel like, is a great way to put it. In my opinion, it's dirty.
My rate of gaining new followers has died down. The views per video have died down. And I don't really know why. I'm technically creating better content than I ever did. The videos are more focused. I'm doing a better job delivering the content. I'm doing a better job editing the content. I'm doing a better job with hashtags and thumbnails and all that stuff. But I still can't capture the same level of audience and views and watch time that I did even when I was still working my way to partner. And that is a problem. That tells me, it makes me feel like I don't know what I'm doing, that I just got lucky, or I just brute forced my way to getting to where I needed to get to. So yeah.
It's really hard sometimes to pull yourself out of that hole and say, buck up. People love your content. You love what you do. So who cares? Even if people didn't love your content, if you are enjoying yourself and doing something that you love, then who cares? It is really hard to get out of that hole sometimes, though. 110%. It's really hard. I don't know.